Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at this knife here, the Sencut Waxahachie. Very excited about this review because, spoiler alert, I really like this little thing. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Where did I put my ruler? I literally just had it. I already tried recording this video and had to do another take. So I just had the ruler. There it is. Oh, people. One of those days. So, blade length. If we measure just a sharpened edge, we're coming in here a little over 3.5 inches. If we measure all the way back to the micarta, about 3.7 inches of overall blade length. So, definitely a good sized blade here in a pretty compact package. That's one of the benefits of fixed blades, right? Let's go ahead and bring out our size comparisons. There's our Rat 1. And where did the 2 go? Once again, I just had that little thing out here. Oh my goodness, guys. If my head wasn't screwed on, I'd lose it too. There we go. there's the Rat 2. You know what? We're not going to do another take. We're just gonna roll with it. So there we go. Kind of an in-between size between the two of those. Grab our Civivi comparisons, which, thank goodness, I have right here. I know where they are. I didn't lose them. Amazingly. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring out our USA made comparisons. There's the Benchmade bug out. And there's the Spyderco PM2. Very close in size to the bug out, which is kind of surprising to me. But there you are. There you are. And just because I have it out here right now, let's compare it against another Sencut with a Bowie blade. This is the Sencut Episode. Compare against another EDC fixed blade, the Artisan Cutlery Sea Snake. And let's go ahead and compare against some other EDC fixed blades. Starting with the CRKT Razel and ending with the Cold Steel Mini Tack Bowie. Alright, there we go. So what are we looking at for materials? We have a blade here of 9CR18 MOV, and we have green micarta scales here. There's also some G10 versions. Like most fixed blades, it's a pretty simple blade with 2 slabs of handle material. Our sheath is Kydex with a Terzola Tech lock on here, or what's it called? Anyways, the Terzola attachment. I'm spacing it right now. I will remember it here in a little bit. So, let's talk about, just a little bit before we go to the cutting footage and stuff, let's talk about the name Waxahachie, because it's a little bit of a mouthful, right? Kind of an interesting, the T-clip. Terzola T-clip. That's what that's called. I said tack lock, it's T-clip. My apologies. Anyways, the name Waxahachie, that's a mouthful, and it's a little bit weird. Where'd the name come from? I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole researching this, and I thought it was pretty neat. So a lot of people probably remember for a while there, Sencut was naming almost every single model they released after places in Texas. I'm not sure why, but they were. It was kind of cool. If there is a story behind that, I'd love to hear it. But for now, we don't know why, or at least I don't. And Waxahachie is indeed a city in Ellis County, Texas. So there we go. Now, as for the actual etymology of the name, there's a couple of different theories about where it comes from. It's probably an anglicized version of a Native American word. Some sources say that it's a Native American word for cow or buffalo. The Alabama language, spoken by the Alabama Coushatta people, has a term Waxahachie, which, those are 2 separate words, means calf's tail. So that's pretty similar in etymology. It could also be an anglicized version of a Muskogee word that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. We're going to put it on the screen here, which means cow and river. So, yeah, this thing probably has something to do with cows. And, yeah, that's pretty cool. There's also Waxahachie Creek in Alabama, spelled a little bit differently than the town in Texas and the way this thing's spelled. But, yeah, I love names. I love etymology and terminology and things like that. And when a knife has a cool name, it means a lot to me. I definitely prefer names over model numbers, and this is a cool name, and I really, really like it. So let's go ahead with that and go to the cutting footage. Alrighty, so here's some footage of me doing a little bit of food prep with the Waxahachie here, cutting this onion. Fixed blades are so great to EDC if you do a lot of food prep. And this knife, really, really nice at the food prep. Full flat grind. Maybe sometimes a black coated blade could get a little grabby going through certain things, but it wasn't enough to really notice. You'll notice here too, my crappy little cutting board is pretty warped and likes to jump around on me. Yep, there you go. Yeah, pretty terrible cutting board. I have to switch it up. But yeah, great blade shape for food prep. Clip point is a really, really excellent food prep blade shape. I think it kind of goes underappreciated sometimes, but I really like it for food prep. Got a nice little bit of belly, got a nice fine tip. Just works out really, really nice for dicing and slicing and all that good stuff we do. Now the recipe I'm actually making here is a salsa, and I have a full video on my salsa recipe, how I make salsa. This one is basically the exact same, except I'm making a very spicy salsa. I call this butt pucker salsa. And you need 2 jalapenos, obviously 2 tomatoes, onion, garlic. You need 3 or 4 habaneros, which you can see I'm collecting right here. And then you need 3 serrano peppers. And char them all up in a in a frying pan over the stove. Get them all nice and roasted, and then blend them up in a blender or mash them up in a molcajete, which is what I prefer, but I didn't have one right here, so I just threw all these in the blender. But yeah, if you like really, really spicy salsa, this is a must-try recipe. Really, really good. Don't forget your spices, salt, pepper, all that stuff. Final product right here. Again, if you want full details on how I make salsa, you can check out the other video I have on that. Yeah, look at you goober. Yep, that's good salsa. It was very, very good. Yep. Alrighty. Well, there's that. Sencut Waxahachie did a great job, and very, very satisfied with its food prep performance. It's a great little EDC fixed blade. Alrighty, guys. We're about to drive into one of my favorite places on earth. So let's do it. How awesome is that? Pretty dang awesome if you ask me. Well guys, welcome back. We're doing it again. Review cutting in the rain. Today our set is brought to us by the beautiful San Lorenzo Canyon near Socorro, New Mexico. This is one of my favorite places on earth. Love it in here. The rain's calmed down a little bit, but it was raining quite a lot. This canyon's also super echoey, so we'll see what the audio's like. I also need a haircut, so if I've got like little Dr. Seuss character hair tuft sticking out, forgive me. All right, so what are we doing the review cutting for today? Well, you're already partway through the review, so you know that it is the Sencut Waxahachie. This is a very cool knife. I love this knife. I've been carrying this pretty much nonstop since I got it. Just a wonderful, wonderful tool. So let's go ahead and start off with our ergonomics. Very neutral handle. Green micarta on this one. This is very comfortable. This is incredibly comfortable. Any positive adjective you can think of, put it in front of the word ergonomics. It describes this knife. This knife has fantastic ergonomics. Excuse me while I take some water droplets off my eyeballs, because because that's very, very annoying when I'm trying to talk and I've got water obscuring my view. I've tried contacts. Don't care for them. Get dirty and gritty and I get like dust in my eyes with the contacts. It's miserable. All right. Ta-da, I can see it again. And my pool noodle is trying to blow away. That's not ideal. But ergonomics, fantastic. Like 9 out of 10. This is amazing. Very, very comfortable. It's not like contoured or anything. I mean, they've got a good amount of girth to them though, so you can definitely get a grip. The jimping up here is excellent, perfect jimping. Love that. Complements the blade, complements the ergonomics. You do have a very slight finger guard here, just enough to let you know that you're behind the edge. And if you've got your thumb up here on the spine, gives you a good little pinch point. It's fantastic. You're not going to slip up on the blade, I don't think. Okay. Let's talk about the carry. So the sheath it comes with, let me show you how I've been carrying this thing. So I like to carry right here. For me, this is just easiest. Reach back, grab it, we're out and ready to work. Putting it away is also very easy, like that. The sheath is Kydex. Let's go ahead and get it off there right now so we can show that off. Kydex sheath comes with one of the Civivi Tech locks. It was kind of interesting. A Sencut knife came with Civivi packaging in the box. I know they're the same. You know, they come from the same company, but it's still kind of cool. Designed by Terzola, of course. It says so right there. And even though I took off my whole belt just now, you can actually put this on and off your belt without having to take your belt off. So we're going to demonstrate that right now. If I can get, there we go. So before we do that, actually, out of the box, this comes vertical carry, which is fine. I just don't prefer vertical carry for day-to-day because I find if I like get in the car, I'm kind of poking myself up in the ribs. So it was riding pretty high too. It was about set like this. If you lower it a little bit, you know, it's a lot better. But for me, day-to-day, I prefer to wear like this. And there's a little bit of slide on here. And for me, that's great because if I want to like for example, if I'm just walking around, I want to tuck it back here, I can do that. I can slide it forward to here, and that's easy for sitting in my car. That's easy for access. So good stuff. Let's go ahead and put this on the belt. I like to go here behind this loop, just so I guess I could, let's put it right here real quick, just so that you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Or snapped on. And ta-da! There we go. That's a little little more awkward, but it will work for now. Retention is very solid. This knife is not going anywhere. You can see you got a little bit of movement on my belt here, but I don't really mind that. Gives you a little bit of flex for the knife to move around depending on your movements. If you're doing something pretty active, if you're sitting, you can adjust the knife a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and start cutting. Beautiful clip point blade here, flat grind, 9CR. I love 9CR steel, so that's A-okay with me. Let's bring our cutting gear out here. Let me grab the pool noodle. Ta-da. All right, start off as always with our cardboard. Tilt down here so you guys can watch this. Very good slicing, and even though it's a clip point, it doesn't go, the tip doesn't go super high, so you can actually do fairly decent utility cuts. You can get down there to the tip very, very nicely. No issues whatsoever. Good little slicer. All right, let's go ahead and grab our rope. Whoops, what happened there? Oh, so I've been carrying this knife a lot and I didn't even notice. See right there? So this is an edge I put on here, but see there? We've got a little bit of a roll in the edge. So I did not notice that before we started today. I will have to address that. Let's go ahead and just use the tip up here to do our pull through. Goodness gracious. What is going on here? I have no idea. Okay. Must be a little bit more used than I thought. Let's try cutting right here. That feels like it's sharper than, yeah, that feels like it's sharper than the rest of this. No problemo. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our pushes. One. Yeah, that edge right there is gone. Wow, probably not a very helpful review cutting. I don't have a sharpener with me right now. You know what? We're just going to push on through, shall we? 1, 2. Let's go back here on the sharpest part. All the way through. So yeah, the geometry is completely fine for stuff like that. Kind of worried about the pull needle test, not going to lie. You know what? Let's try this real quick. Let's just try doing a little stropping on the belt. Sometimes this will work with 9CR. Let's see here. We'll see if that did anything. A little bit better, much nicer. Okay, now we should be able to learn a little something. Let's go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3. All right, so as you can see there, really nice consistency, very thin. Felt great going through there. Very nice geometry. This full flat grind is done exactly the way you'd want it to be done. Now I'm going to have to take this guy back, give him a little bit of a sharpening up, fix some of these issues. Yeah, I don't know what I hit right there, but holy cow, I took a chunk out of that edge. You see that? You see that glinting? Yeah, so we're going to have to fix this guy up. But let's go ahead and get back to the table for the rest of the review. Of course. There we go. Alrighty, guys, we are back. Let's go ahead and talk about what I'm liking and not liking about this knife. First of all, I love the way it looks. This is definitely inspired by traditional Bowie knives. We've got a nice clip point blade here. I love Bowie knives, you guys know that. And yeah, I just think it looks great. It's very simple, it's very classy, but at the same time, it's very good looking. It's very, very good looking, and especially with a name inspired by a place in Texas or a Native American word, you kind of get those kind of frontier-y vibes. A Bowie shape makes sense. I'm just realizing, since this is named after a town in Texas, I should have put up some Texas dinosaurs instead of Mongolian dinosaurs, instead of Pati and Velociraptor. Should put up like an Acrocanthosaurus and some kind of sauropod to represent by like a Paluxy Titan or something. But water under the bridge. So yeah, I love the looks of this thing. Next thing I love are the ergonomics. This knife is super, super comfortable. Now, the ergonomics are not doing anything crazy. You know, we don't have anything contoured. Honestly, the shape is super simple, but it works. It just works. Got a little bit of a curve here. It sits in the hand really nicely. The jimping up here, oh my goodness, is perfect. I love that jimping. It extends out enough, and it's got good grip. The knife just feels good in my hand. It's a little bit, you know, it's not super thick, but it's a little bit wider in the handle, which helps fill out your hand. You have this little spot here that acts as a little bit of a finger guard, so you can kind of index the knife. It just works really well ergonomically. There are definitely knives that are more comfortable, more hand melting, but this is that kind of comfortable where you just grab it and it's like, yeah, I'm ready to go to town. I'm ready to do some work. and that's great. That's really, really cool. Next thing, let's go ahead and talk about the blade. I love this blade. Not only is it an attractive blade, but it's a very functional blade. We've got a flat grind, comes down to a nice thin edge. Look at that. Focus up. Yeah, nice thin edge. A beautiful, beautiful slicer. And even though it's a buoy clip point, the tip is still low enough that you can get to your utility cuts, which is not always the case with trailing point, clip point blades. Very, very useful. Got a little bit of straight here, got a little bit of belly. I actually bought this knife for a hunt that I was going on. Pronghorn hunt. Pronghorn. And I like the idea of this knife because it was small-ish, but definitely a capable size. And I thought this would be a great blade shape for skinning, as well as just around the camp tasks. And absolutely right. It's absolutely right that this is a great blade shape. It's also a great blade shape for just EDC. I have carried this knife I haven't had this knife very long, and I've already carried it more than a lot of other knives this year. This thing has been on my belt pretty much nonstop. I've carried it everywhere, and it's just such a useful tool. As you guys can see in the cutting footage, this is the second edge I put on this knife, and I had beat the heck out of that edge when I did the cutting footage. I need to resharpen the knife here. I still got the dull spots. I've used this thing a lot, and there's never really been a task that I've come across where this was lacking, or I felt like, oh, I wish I had a different knife. This handled everything. Food prep, cardboard cutting, just small EDC tasks. This was great. Very, very great. And honestly, that's one of the benefits of carrying an EDC fixed blade is it's a little more capable than a folder. A little bit more capable than a folder. It's easier to maintain, and it is very satisfying. It's very satisfying to carry this, so I really, really enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and talk about the sheath. I like the sheath. Very good retention on the Kydex. It's also easy to get it out. So, as far as I'm concerned, perfect Kydex sheath. Now, it comes with this Terzola T-clip, which was kind of funny to me, opening a Sencut box and seeing a Civivi product in there, even though I know that, they're basically the same company, but it was just kind of funny to me. And there's the Terzola mark. We talked about this a little bit during the cutting footage, but yeah, you can basically swap this around, wear the knife however you want. I prefer carrying it scout style like this. Just a great sheath, great system. Makes it easy to carry this knife. For people that are new to EDC fixed blades, the biggest stumbling block is normally just carrying it, right? Just deciding that you're going to carry something on your belt or in your pocket. There's also sheaths that you could carry in your pocket. Having a sheath with options that allow you to play around with different styles is great because you can find what works for you. And then once you find the most comfortable position for you and you start wearing your knife for a couple of days, it just becomes second nature. You just get used to it, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So definitely love that. This thing did come with a lanyard right here. Lanyards on fixed blades I'm okay with. I took off the lanyard that came with this one. I'm not sure where it's at, but you can put a new lanyard on there if you want to. You can take these scales off and put new ones on if you want. And honestly, it would be so easy to make your own custom scales for this because the handle is so neutral. But yeah, the blade 9CR18. I like that steel. I think it's a fine steel. I've used it a lot, and especially for the price, I think 9CR is a desirable steel. So I've got no problems with that. I do like the green on black look. That's kind of been my thing lately. You can get other versions, including a jade version if you want to dye it. So yeah, just tons of options for this thing. Let's go ahead and talk about some things that I don't like. Honestly, nothing. It's very rare that I say that in a video, but there is nothing about this knife that I dislike. I think everything that this knife set out to do, it does, and it does it well, and it does it with class, and it does it all for 40 bucks. This is a $40 knife, and this is one of the most recommendable knives I've handled in a very, very long time. As far as I remember, this is Sencut's only fixed blade, and man, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. This thing is wonderful. I love carrying this knife. I love having this knife on me. It just does everything you want an EDC fixed blade to do. A medium-sized fixed blade. It's just so good. It's so good, and I absolutely love it. Love it to death. Definitely recommendable. And honestly, I kind of feel like these are a little bit underrated. I haven't seen a whole lot of videos on them. I know This Old Sword, he did videos on it and stuff, and I'm sure other people have, but it just kind of feels a little bit underrated. And that's one of the problems with these companies like Sencut. Sencut's getting to the point of like where Civivi was a while back, where they're just releasing so many new models that a lot of stuff just falls under the rug. It just gets sidelined, which is a shame because this is a really, really nice knife. And Sencut's probably going to be discontinuing it here in the next year or so, which would be a shame. But until then, definitely go and grab one. For $40, you can't go wrong. This thing is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I cannot say enough good things about it. So that's going to be it for today's review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Leave it a like, comment below, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have one of these, if you want to get one. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed. But until next time, I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.